Welcome everyone to this demonstration video. This is a little bit of a different style than I normally do. This one is not going to have any BTS, but this is about one of the BTS videos I posted earlier. I made videos for my friend's company and I did show the BTS on how we shot it in his office, which is basically in his home. So we finished the project and I ended up giving him, I think, 21 or 22 videos, which is what he wanted. He wrote all the scripts. They all turned out really good and he liked them. And then we ran into the issue is that he didn't know where to put these or how to even host it or how to put this on his website. Is that even the right way to go? So we ended up having a different discussion about looking at his website and figuring out how to do this knowledge based thing. And that led to a little bit more extra business because I rebuilt his website. This is the second one I built for him, which is not something I usually advertise. It's usually something I put on top of the video production gigs that I do because this is not the first time this is happening, and it is currently happening with one of my dental clients that we made videos and he wants to play them in the lobby, but then he also said, what if we, chop them up a little bit more and then shorter versions can be on the website? I was like, yeah, I've done that before. So that's also in the discussion, but he's in the same exact situation as my friend's businesses, which is what I want to show you guys. So if I switch to his current website, I'll show you guys his current website, which hasn't been updated in 10 years. The guy who built it doesn't really do much, and I don't even know where this is hosted, and my friend doesn't really know that either. So we ended up moving his website from this old one to Squarespace because he has two businesses, and the second one was already on Squarespace, and everything works exactly how he wants it. So if I go to this screen, you can still see me. And this is his old website. This website looks like it was made in like Microsoft Word. You know, it's old. It hasn't been touched in about 10 years. Most of the forms that go anywhere, they are very, very, very basic. They don't even really work too well to be tracked. There's tons of issues. All these videos and pictures are super outdated. When you look at pictures, some of them don't even work. And obviously, this is not optimized to mobile in any way. So if I would try to open this on an iPad or an iPhone, it would be awful. And that's why we ended up deciding that he doesn't want to deal with this other guy anymore. He wants to be able to be in control of his own website, which he can't really do with this one. And let's move and put the new videos on there. So what I ended up doing is we did a little basic branding as far as let's identify what he wants to move over from like the brand, like logo, colors, and stuff like that. And we ended up rebuilding this whole thing. We did copy certain things, but most of the stuff in this old menu and stuff doesn't even work, or it's just links to outside websites, which we can absolutely still do. So even the about page, it's not really well designed at all. So this is what I ended up doing. And this is not launched yet. So what you see here is pre-production because as soon as we move the domain over, I won't be able to see the old one. So I'm doing this before everything gets approved on the new one. And as soon as that happens and he can migrate his domain over to the Squarespace, we can connect the two and the old website will stop working. The new one will actually work. So this is the new website, which currently still has these images from stock sites that have not been purchased yet because obviously I'm still waiting for approval, but most of it has been selected. And the brand colors and everything is really close to the original one up here that you see on the top left. So looking at the website through just the front page, we pretty much kept the same categories that were on the old one. So there is a section for basically Medicare and employee benefits, short term, long term, supplementary. That all these are not changing. We just basically combine them a little bit and made them much more easier to understand. So the main categories are Medicare, which is he's an insurance broker in many states, mainly Georgia, and he has a lot of clients that are approaching 65 or above 65. So most of his work comes from Medicare education, which is why most of the videos that we did was about Medicare. So the first category is that, and then there's health insurance for people like me, like a freelancer. And then you've got employee benefits. So if you're running a small company and you have employees and you want to provide benefits, that's next. And then we've got long-term care, which is basically an extension that's usually people get with Medicare. And then this is where one of the knowledge base was incorporated into the website, because we wanted to have a place where all the knowledge and videos are accessible, not just embedded in specific pages where they belong. So this is a section where you can get to the knowledge base. Down under here, there is an integrated review that is actively updating. This is with a plugin. I love to use this. And this is pulling in his Google business reviews, which is the only platform that he's using to get reviews from all his clients and stuff. And you can straight up just leave a review here. It will like take you to Google. And then there's a scheduling widget right here, which is basically goes into a CRM, which I believe is Zoho. So this is like a Zoho scheduling thing. So it's an embed that you can schedule calls, videos, or phone calls, which was pretty much the same before, except it wasn't available on the website. So every time somebody got in touch with his assistant or went to the website and emailed, they just sent out like a link, like a landing page Zoho link, where they could pick the same thing. So it was just extra steps, and this probably will save a ton of time and get more bookings just because it's really easy and it's right there on the front page. And then there's a general contact us form on the bottom in case that doesn't, if you don't want to book something or you want to call or email, that's pretty generic stuff. Obviously, there is a lot of stuff has to be displayed on the bottom, and the privacy policy, because this is insurance and government related. So all this is compliance. This is not something we make up. We just post it. Now, going back to the knowledge base, the knowledge base is basically, it looks like a blog, and the titles are the titles of each video. So this is where most of the videos ended up that we made together, which is, he planned this for years. We just never could find the time. But now that I'm doing this full time, we scheduled it like a normal business transaction. So there's a bunch of categories and topics here, and each one we selected a random stock photo that is probably relevant to the topic, like what is a gap insurance, and there's a GNP. Like, I love this stuff. This is almost like a little bit more on the side of my brain that I like to do. Like, what looks good aesthetically. This is kind of the same thing as exposing a nice shot or finding a good angle. But like doing this, I think like these look good and they are all relevant. And because his colors are blue, obviously, as you've seen from just the general design, I tried to look for stock images that also incorporate blue in some way. So if you're looking at this, you'll see that even these stock images that we're going to buy, they have blue in it that matches the branding in most of them, even like this one. So as much as I could find, I tried to do it. And then if you go in there, then there is the actual video. So this is one of the 21 videos that I did, or 22. Each one goes into one of these with the custom thumbnail. And then we've got obviously FAQ sections under it that are just text-based, because these are picked up by the search engines. And then if you play the video, which I'm going to mute it, but I'm going to play it. These are the videos that you've seen in the BTS video, or if you haven't, it's on my YouTube. So these videos are also branded to his color, exactly how he wanted it. So, and we tried to match colors of everything, not just the website, but there's new business cards and everything. And then the biggest part of the whole video series was about Medicare. So the Medicare page separately has its own very special series of videos, which was made to be Medicare 101, which is what he calls it. This is a 5-episode education series for people that are either getting close to Medicare or they just got there and they don't know what to do. So they basically teach you the basics of Medicare, which is exactly what he would go through on a virtual call with you. So if you schedule a call, he would do this, but it takes about 45 minutes to do it live. So we have these videos that are about 25 minutes total that explain each part with FAQs. So it is searchable. And then at the end, it's also giving you the button to go to the knowledge base, because if you have more questions, you'll find a lot of stuff there. So these videos were the main part of the main reason why he wanted to do this, but these videos would have been really hard to incorporate into this old website because there wasn't even a great place to put videos. Like there's not really a Medicare tab. Like this was not really done well. And like old testimonials were basically text, which nobody could actually verify if they're true or not. Like you could just write these. But if you're linking in a Yelp page or a Google review or something, that one has more weight to it, especially if you get, numbers in there. Like you don't have 3 reviews, but if you have 50 or 100, that one means way more. And so this is the current state of the website. And if we're going to have our next meeting shortly, because we want to launch this before September 1st. So we're going to basically approve all this, purchase the stock images, check for errors. I've already did some checks with certain AI engines to check for typos and stuff, because I usually do that. I let like Claude go through it and tell me, hey, did you find any typos or anything? Which actually it did happen on this one. The very first line here, I misspelled and missed the R from his name. And because I've seen it so many times, I could never see it with my own eyes. I always read it correctly in my brain. But as soon as I run it through, it told me immediately that, hey, there's a typo in the first paragraph. So each of these other tabs are also basically relevant of the individual topics. And the about page was also updated with a picture where he's wearing a blue shirt. So like it's on brand, right? And this whole area of it was also completely redesigned with the awards and everything that they get from the marketplace to just have a better look and flow with the whole website looking very professional. So this is one of those projects where I didn't really think that this is going to lead to a website redesign package from just making videos, but it ended up happening because when it came to hosting, he didn't really know what to do, and he didn't really want to put time in it, obviously, because he's working in his business. So that led me to more business. And now that I see this, I may eventually start offering this if I see that the business has a pretty outdated web presence at all, or they don't even have a website just on top of it, because we can host this on Squarespace and we can even put it behind like password and user logins. So if he doesn't want this to be completely public for everyone to watch, but maybe his clients only, there is a way to link to put it behind a login screen or password protect it so that your actual clients can watch it, because he might send this out in emails to them as like homework before they go on the virtual call to gather all the data and do the actual paperwork. So this short video is just about this, that like one business led to another, and like these questions are in the heads of your clients or your potential clients, because it's not just about making the video. And I really didn't think about it, like a year ago, but now I do. That like, let's just discuss where is this going to be hosted. If they don't have an answer for it, because that could potentially lead to additional services, or you can maybe contract some of your partners that are like maybe do web design to put that into your contract and subcontract it out, basically, if you don't want to do it, which is totally normal because this is actual business. So if the product is not for social media or YouTube, then you have this option to discuss, okay, how are you going to use this? Like, is this just going to live on a flash drive and you're going to plug it in every time you want to use it? Or are we going to host it and do something with it? So this was one of those solutions, and I'm happy how it turned out. I think it looks great compared to obviously where we're coming from. And now he's going to be able to continuously update it as we move forward and add more videos to this in the future. And if I have other clients in similar situations, now I have basically a case study. Like, this is a case study that I can show that, like, hey, this is what we came from and this is how we ended up. And obviously his website is going to be public. So if you're watching this months from now, that website will be public and it is visible. The old one is obviously not. The only remnants of that website is this video that I showed you earlier, that like, hey, this is a 10-year-old something that we had to just completely remake because it just wouldn't worth it to put time and effort into figuring out what the hell's going on with that, because it didn't really look good. Most of the stuff was irrelevant in there, so it would have been more work to trying to do and guess that than just starting fresh, using a modern template that resizes correctly for mobile and iPads and everything. So a lot of those were important because obviously more people use their phones nowadays for doing this stuff, and it just looks more modern. It just looks like this is a company from 2025 and it's not a company who's stuck in 2005 or whatever. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.